the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Turn 3 Racing Network. As tonight, we're here at Michigan International Speedway for the championship race, the final night for Racing for a Cause, as they present the Samantha Mills Liver Awareness 90. Thank you so much for joining us out here tonight. In the booth with me is none other than my partner in crime, Al Smith. Al, how you doing out here tonight?
Doing very good here, Roger, or not Roger, you're KR. Been working with Roger quite a bit lately, but glad to be here at the Irish Hills of Michigan for tonight's season finale for the Racing for a Cause. We'll call it the Scrambler Series. They've ran the trucks, they've ran the cup cars, and tonight we're ending it in the season with the Xfinity cars for 90 laps here at this big 2-mile super speedway.
Yeah, we are going to kick out the Xfinity car once again, and drivers are going to let it rip. But here tonight in the booth with us is a little pre-race interview, and none other than the driver of the 34 machine, and that is Doug Wysocki. Doug, how you doing out there tonight?
I'm doing good, KRL. How you guys doing?
I'll tell you what, if I was any better, my name would be Al Smith. But Doug, that 34 machine out here tonight, and this is a race that you have elected to have in as the one that you're going to patron here tonight. What can you tell us about this race?
We've done a few, and being from Michigan, this is my home track, and losing my daughter back in December, it was tough, still tough. So this is just a little, just kind of honor her.
Well, Doug, Racing for a Cause is specifically made for this kind of stuff, and we all feel for you. We all hurt when that came up across in December, and to see you out here on a weekly basis, man, we all feel for you, and we're glad that you're here, and we hope that tonight is a night that you can reflect on and find some joy and some laughter, some things that help you in any way possible.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I say it's liver awareness for my daughter Samantha. That's what she passed of, and sure was a shock. And I appreciate everything you guys do, all the guys from RFC, everybody from Upstate, everybody from Next Gen. I mean, you name it. All my teammates at Falcon Motorsports. Those guys are great. You guys are great. Everybody reaches out to me constantly, and I really, really appreciate it.
All right, Doug. Well, we wanted to just get a quick word in with you here tonight. And we know that all our drivers out here have a heavy heart in honor of your daughter and everything with all of that. And Doug, we want to wish you the best of luck out here tonight, man.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
That is Doug Wysocki, driver of the 34 machine, racing in honor of his daughter here tonight, as this is the Samantha Mills Liver Awareness 90. And Al, drivers are starting to roll out for qualifying.
Yes, Doug has been a great competitor for Racing for a Cause. He's raced, as he mentioned, multiple leagues throughout his iRacing career, and it's a very tough situation, and we hated to hear that news back in December. And we just wish the Wysocki family and the Mills family the best. Is right now out on the speedway for qualifying. It is Dale Osmond. He's the first car up onto the track, trying to put down a lap here tonight as he works down the backstretch into turn number 3.
Dale Osmond in the 88 machine, sending it off into the corner. Several drivers here tonight have a lot on the line, one of those being the 28 of Dustin German, as Dale Osmond in the 88 machine gonna cross the line and be the first car to post up a lap. But Dustin German in the 28 machine, he comes into tonight as your current point leader. He just needs a 14th place finish or better, and he locks up the championship. I'll tell you what, that 28 machine, that is a driver that gets up on the wheel every time I have seen him out there. I don't feel like Dustin is going to settle for 14th place.
No, and he'll show that in qualifying. He jumps to number 2 on the board behind Dale Osmond with a 39.134 second lap. So he's going to start off at least inside the top 5. Got a lot of drivers just getting back out onto the speedway, but German going to sit second as he works his second lap through turns 3 and 4. We'll see if it's quicker this time by. And he's fighting off John Wimbish and Steve Baker, who are mathematically in this one, and anything can happen here, KR. We've seen it happen. This is a miniature super speedway. Yeah, it's big, it's fast, the draft happens, and when there's something that happens, it's very hard to get away from it.
Yeah, it is. Things happen very quickly, and just like that, the 28 machine sits on pole position. So Dustin German letting this field know that they are going to have to take this championship away from him. The 55 of Steve Baker, he makes his way across the start-finish line for his first time lap. And Baker in that 55 machine, well, we're going to have to wait another lap to see if he can log a time.
I believe that might be his get up the speed lap as he works down the backstretch with his number 55. As he works down in the turns numbers 3 and 4. Everybody running that middle line there, not down on that yellow line. You got to keep the momentum up with these Xfinity cars. He'll drift up off the corner, and he'll cut it right down low to the apron, the complete lap number 1. And we'll see where it slots him. It'll put Baker into your 12th position. So 12th quick so far after lap number 1.
With that said, guys, and just over a minute left here in qualifying, we're going to step away for our national anthem. No one go anywhere. We'll be back to bring you tonight's starting lineup.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Turn 3 Racing Network, as tonight we are here at Michigan. A championship is on the line, the final race of the season. Dustin German in the 28 machine trying to wrap this up, but before he can, he's got to get through 90 laps here at Michigan. And so let's go ahead and start looking at our row 1 starting lineup here tonight. Dustin German in the 28 machine, putting it on pole with the 88 of Dale Osmond to his outside. Row number 2 will be the 56 of John T. Wimbish and the 94 of Troy Radford. Row number 3 will be the 54 of Derek Myers and the 82 of Tyler Hilton. Row 4 will be the 1 of Stephen Page and the 64 of Tom Quattlebaum. Row number 5 will be the 34 of Doug Wysocki and the 11 of Christopher Spencer.
Starting on the inside of row number 6 in the 11 starting spot will be the 85 of Jeff Stiles, and his outside will be the 55 of Steve Baker. Joshua Spalding will start 13th on the inside of row number 7, and his outside the 6 of Eric Blount. Justin Rigsby and Brandon Mefford will make up row number 8 in the car number 99 and 83. Damon Coxon's car number 57 will start 17th in row number 9. And his outside the 15 of Rick Greenway. Starting on the inside of row number 10 will be the number 70 of Andy Lambert, and the 20th starting position, the number 9 of Dustin Bing.
Row number 11 is going to see the 44 of Mark Fravert and the 36 of Michael Fravert. Row 12 will be the 00 of Roy Hyde and the 3 of Chad Meadows. Row 13 will be the 46 of Chris Mefford and the 81 of Dave Worrell. Row 14 will be the 4 of Mike Massengill and the 47 machine of Ray Radford, and that is going to make up tonight's 28 car field. Now our drivers are going to be making their way around, but we are going to do an extra 2 laps here under pace speeds, and we are going to do a honorary lap here as we wait for the 34 of Doug Wysocki to make his way to the front of the field. So Doug is going to ride out in the front in that 34 machine. Al, I can't even imagine.
No, we heard how emotional Doug Wysocki was in our pre-race show, and our hearts here at Turn 3 Racing and working on behalf of Racing for a Cause. Just our hearts go out to the Wysocki family, and I know this means a lot to Doug, and Doug is a part of the racing community, and we just want everybody to know, that our thoughts and prayers are still with them. December was a tough month, and hopefully this, Doug is keeping it under composure there as we do this lap in honor of his daughter and the namesake of the race, the Samantha Mills Liver Awareness 90. So we'll just take it in, KR.
Yeah, the 34 out in front and the missing man formation. So Doug Wysocki has, right now, that 34 machine going to have an opportunity here to look back on this and know that everyone involved in tonight's race holds Doug in a special place in their hearts. Not only Doug, but his family and his daughter, and all of that comes out here as these drivers pace around behind the 34 machine. But as we work our way onto the front stretch, the 1 lap missing man, Doug will make his way back into formation. We're going to let these guys go, and we're going to send it off to a green flag race. So Doug drops down to the inside, going to get back into line. And so, you know, Al, here we go. The missing man is done, but now it's time to focus on the job at hand.
At 90 laps on tap here at the 2 Miles Speedway, the Michigan International Speedway here in Irish Hills of Michigan. They will roll down the backstretch here under pace for the one last time before they're going to drop the green flag to put the Samantha Mills Liver Awareness 90 under the green flag. And Dustin German, your championship leader on the front row. Championship rival, the 56 of John Wimbish, who is second in points, is going to restart there right behind him in that cherry wine number 56. It is the title bout fight here. In the black corner, we got Dustin Germain, and in the red corner, we have the 56 of John Wimbish.
They are going to be starting those details. So Dustin German, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, just needs to finish inside 14th or better. So that first place starting position really going to work to the 28's favor here as they work their way off of turn number 4. Going to be a manual countdown. The pace car has already left. Race control going to count them down here. The 28 of Dustin German. And if he is dropped out, that is going to be a huge problem. And so the field was supposed to take the green flag here.
Yeah, race control waving that off, trying to see if German has come back. One card also was the 3 of Chad Meadows. They had a little bit of electrical issues, so not the start of the night that the 28 of Dustin German wanted. Electrical issues on that number 28 car, and he is yet to come back out onto the racetrack.
Yeah, Dustin German has not made it out on the track just yet, but we might see him rejoin this race. But race control, knowing that a championship is in the balance, and they have allowed this field to stay under yellow. But I imagine that this one lap is all that Dustin German is going to get to try and figure it out.
Yeah, I'm watching the activity down in the garage area, and they are frantically trying to. He is climbing back inside the car. He is reconnected, but he is going to have to come back out onto the racetrack here at KR, as it looks like the 28 of German back into the race.
So a bad situation for the 28 machine to kick off this championship night. But man, I'll tell you what, that 28 of Dustin German is going to have a lot of laps ahead of him to get back on the lead lap. He's going to need some help from a caution or two. However, and Michigan sometimes goes flag to flag, but here we go. Don Wimbish on pole.
They
the
called
88.
it off, Kay. I think they're going to go one more lap.
All right, one more lap as we wait for the 28 to load in and get going. So race control doing all they can to give everybody a fair shot out here, including our championship leader. They want this race to finish as it is intended, with the drivers battling it out. Would not be fair to the 28 if he never got a shot at this race. So we're going to keep circling around here as we wait for the 28 to get fired and get rolling. So, Al, with all that being said, the 28 machine now trying to get back into this race. He's going to have to overcome this mental problem now. No, I shouldn't say mental problem, but this setback, and it could affect him mentally.
It definitely could, and it's going to be on the back of his mind. Are these electrical gremlins going to creep back up while the race is going on? The teams have, prepared these cars back in their shops, down to make it flawless, but always possible to have some electrical issues here on race day. As you know, these cars are brand new when they bring them out to the racetrack, so something could just short circuited it or whatnot. And it looks like the 28 of Dustin German is back out onto the racetrack. So race control was communicating, but I did not make it out. KR, they might be going this time, or they might go next time by. So it sounds like they're going to green this time off 4.
All right, so we're getting ready to go green flag racing. Dustin German gonna have to start this event at the tail end of the field, 1 lap down. Your points leader, your championship contender, already behind the 8 ball. John Wimbish, sitting in second place in the point standings, is looking to capitalize on the 28's misfortune. As here we go, the field lined up, getting ready. Green flag flies, and we are underway here at Michigan for the Samantha Mills Liver Awareness 90. Well, maybe like 89 now.
John Wimbish and Osborne are going to run side by side down the turn number 1 with Myers in that 54 back there in third all by himself. Then we got them side by side off of turn number 4. Wimbish will take over your race lead. 1 car down on the apron. It looks like to be the 70 of Andy Lambert going down on the very wide and paved back straight, so he'll be able to get back up onto the racing surface. As this time off turn number 4, lap number 1 in the books, it'll be the 56 of John Wimbish.
It was actually the 48 that went around and all the way down onto the apron of Josh Spalding, but he has gathered it back in and keeps rolling. So Spalding hanging tough right there. I want to check in on the 28 of Dustin German. He is in desperate need of a caution and early, as the 28 machine right now, the first and only car 1 lap down, as he missed the start of the race because of that electrical issue. His championship contention includes the driver of the 56, who is out in front of the field.
With another championship contender, the 55 of Steve Baker. He's working underneath the 85 of Styles down the front stretch. That'll be a side-by-side battle here for your 10th position. Baker, starting in your 12th position here tonight, has worked up inside the top 10 now as they work off the corner. He'll take that position from Styles. Now Ping is under fire from Justin Rigsby. Will make that pass off turn number 2.
Eric Blount in the 6, down to the inside of the 85 of Styles. That inside lane, not the preferred line here at Michigan in these Xfinity cars. You see the 6 wash up just a little bit. The 85 of Styles able to run right through the middle, stays in the throttle, and that momentum carries through down the front stretch. Styles now in front of the 6 of Eric Blount.
That battle rages on now. Steve Baker in that 55 has caught the back bumper of the 11 of Chris Spencer. As he'll work to the outside, Spencer moves to the inside. Baker with that run down in the turn number 3. He'll have the preferred line, give the position to Baker. So Baker up 3 positions so far since the green flag has fell here in the Samantha Mills Liver Awareness 90 as they come up and click off lap number 4.
Across the start finish line once again, Steve Baker in the 55 carrying us down this front stretch as he is tucked in behind the 64 Tom Quattlebaum. Meanwhile, just in front of them, side by side action includes the 82 of Tyler Hilton as he battles door to door with the 1 of Stephen Page. Now he's going to tuck in behind the 94. I'm sorry, the 1 of Page, the 34 of Doug Wysocki, sitting right there in 7th place. That 82 machine, Tyler Hilton, worked hard on this throwback Richard Petty paint scheme. And I got to tell you, it looks pretty good.
It is a very sharp looking race car. Baker will work underneath the number 64 Quattlebaum, and that'll bring Spencer along with him as well. So Baker up to 8th as John Wimbish leads the race right now. And we'll get back and see where Dustin Germain, he's been past a few cars, but being so early on in this race, he's got plenty of time. The yellow were to fall, he'd be the lucky dog as he's the only car 1 lap down right now at this juncture of the race as the field work off the corner. number 4 was Saki, and at number 34 tried to take a peek to the inside of Hilton, but wasn't able to do anything with him this time. He'll keep it tucked in line in the turn number 1.
34 stays behind the 82 at the front of the field. John Wimbish in the 56 continues to lead as the 54 of Derek Myers rides tight to that back bumper as they sail it off into 3 and 4. Wimbish getting just a little bit below that first seam. Derek Myers staying right there on his back bumper. Man, oh man, the battle for the race lead really starting to shape up. The 88 of Dale Osmond sitting in third place, watching this whole battle go down. And Dale has a little bit of a gap now to try and make up, but you know, our drivers have about 40 laps of fuel, but I don't think the tires are going to be as happy at the end of those 40 laps as they are right now.
No, right now they got the most maneuverability out on the racetrack with those fresh 4 tires that they start to race on. We see the difference in lines though. We see the 54 of Myers. He gives up a little bit of gap to the 56 of Wimbish on entry, but he's getting such a good run off the corner that he's able to stay within that car length, and the draft does come into effect here at Michigan. You see how they both kind of entered in the high side, but look at how the 54 kind of tries to get a run down off the banking. He'll stay right tucked to the back bumper, and side by side, Steve Baker trying to make a move on the 34 Douglas Saki.
While that was going on, the 82 of Tyler Hilton made his way around the 1 of Stephen Page. Now the 34 of Wysocki down to the inside of Page as well. Page going to lose 3 spots, 1 lap. Wysocki is going to open the door, and the 55 of Baker going to try and follow through.
Still side by side for that battle. Baker trying to make a move as Page will work the outside of the speedway. Wysocki has cleared Page. Now Baker trying to do the same thing. Page with a nice run off the top side. He'll hold off the advancement of the 55 of Baker as they work down the backstretch in the turn number 3. It'll still be John Wimbish showing the way over the 54 of Myers, but this battle still rages on back here for your 8th and 9th position.
Wysocki moving into 6th. Baker trying to take 7th away from Page. The 11 of Spencer closing in while the 55 and the 1 battle it out. All that going down. The 28th place car, the 3 machine of Chad Meadows, has just now pulled it behind the wall. And here we go. Attrition already showing its head. The 3 of Chad Meadows, the first car out of this race. That is a small comfort to the 28 of Dustin German.
Yeah, right now Dustin German's being shown 27th, 1 lap down after his electrical issues. I believe the 3 of Chad Meadows also had some electrical issues before having to pull that car behind pit wall. We'll see if the team can get that repaired. But look at this. The 88 of Osmond has closed in. It is a 3-car battle up here at the front of this one.
At the front of the field, the 56 of John Wimbish, your race leader. The 54 of Derek Myers in 2nd place. Dale Osmond had closed in on him. It looked like he got a bit of a rough exit off of turn number 2, and that broke his momentum all the way down the backstretch, so that gap opened back up between the 88 and the 54. But one thing about this 88 machine, he can pace himself exactly how he needs to run an entire fuel strategy. And right now that 88 machine looks like he is just kind of lurking in 3rd place, not hustling the car, just running his own laps.
He is at the battle is back here. Doug Wysocki was just side by side with the 55 of Baker. Now they seem to be settled out single file. Maybe let the tires cool off, as now Christopher Spencer will take a run at the 55 of Baker off of turn number 4. They'll be side by side at the line. A little bit further back, Justin Rigsby in at number 99 has Brandon Medford all over the inside of that number 83.
Medford starting to slide up, trying to close in on that position. The 99 at Rigsby not phased by the 83 trying to muscle his way in. Grigsby holding on to the spot for the moment as Mefford gonna tuck in behind him. They're gonna head off into 3 and 4, nose to tail for the moment. But the 9 machine of Dustin Ping and the 46 of Chris Mefford starting to rear their heads in the battle as the 6 of Eric Blount gonna wash up just a little too much, and he is going to lose all kinds of spots.
Yeah, he broke the momentum off the corner. Blount's going to have to regain it as he pedals that Vanilla Coke number 6 on the high side of the speedway. They're going to fan him out almost 3 wide, and they settle it out to be 2 wide. Mefford and Blount side by side off the corner. Dustin Ping right there behind him, and here comes another Mefford in the 46. That is Chris.
Chris Mefford in the 46, right behind the 9 of Dustin Ping, and then the 48 of Joshua Spalding right there behind them as they go side by side, the Ping machine and the Mefford machine. Spalding sitting in 17th place, one of the drivers who went around on the opening lap.
Yeah, he's made a nice recovery, finding himself in the number 16 spot. As now it looks like the 88 Adele Osmond with a little bit of electrical issues falling through. So Osmond, who was running third, has now had electrical issues. And the number 3 of Meadows was back out on pit road. Now it looks like they had some issues firing that car up. But as John Wimbish out front now by a half a second over Myers. Myers had a little bit of issue that last time by, so now Troy Bradford in car number 94 is sitting in third. But what happened to Dale Osmond? Tough break for that driver in the 88.
And Dale Osmond has had a rough go at the end of this season here. He has been caught up in several incidents, and now it looks like the 88 has had internet connection issues and finds himself behind the wall until he can figure out how to get it reconnected.
Spalding and Chris Mefford and that number 48 and 46 running side by side off turn number 4. Wannabom coming down pit road will be our first taker as they have about 20 laps on this set of fuel tank. So about half of what we thought they could make it. So maybe a little bit of strategy play by the number 64 of Thomas Quattlebaum, but it looks like he has taken that car straight behind the pit wall. Maybe some engine issues on his number 64.
A quick rundown for our top 5 right now. John T. Wimbish is your race leader in that 56 machine. Derek Myers in second place in the 54. The 94, Troy Radford sitting in third. Stephen Page in fourth, and Tyler Hilton in the 82 machine. Gonna round out your top 5. Page has made his way back around Tyler Hilton, and I mentioned it very briefly, tire wear here at Michigan, and it looks like the 82 starting to fall back a little bit very quick in the opening laps. But now Stephen Page starting to close in and really show he has some long run speed.
Yeah, same with that 11 of Christopher Spencer. Now, as they work through turns 3 and 4, Spencer had got to the back bumper of Baker, not able to do anything with him. But all up front, it has been John Wimbish. He's got a 1.2 second lead right now over Myers, and he knows where his championship rivals are. But only thing Wimbish can do is go out there, lead the most laps, and win the race and let fate have itself. As we all know, as we had mentioned at the beginning of the race, Herman has to finish 14th or better. And right now, with this race being green, it's going to be a very hard battle uphill for him after having electrical issues earlier on in this race.
That it is, and not only is Dustin German someone that has had problems out here, the 9 machine of Dustin Ping, who was battling not too long ago in about the 12th, 13th, somewhere in there, mid-pack. He has had to go down pit road, and he is now 1 lap down, sitting in 25th spot. He is looking at going a 2nd lap down. Our race leader, John Wimbish, on the same straightaway as the 9 of Dustin Ping.
Yeah, so that's going to put Ping down. If our race leader gets to him and gets around him, we'll put Ping down a 2nd lap. as we got a good battle shaping up here for your 10th spot. The 83 of Mefford, and that will be Brandon Mefford, has the outside of the 34 Doug Wasaki. Spalding is in this battle along with Chris Mefford. 4 cars side by side down in the turn number 1.
Falcon Motorsports, 3 drivers representing that team right there. The 48 machine of Spalding, a driver for Smoke Show Racing. He's trying to figure out how he can get around these roadblocks that he's calling Falcon Motorsports, but we know Falcon Motorsports is anything but a roadblock. Right now, Troy Radford sitting in 2nd place, and Tyler Hilton rounding out your top 5.
Yeah, Radford just made the move around the 54 of Myers, but I wanted to point out, right behind that group with Doug Wasaki back battling there for your 11th, 12th, and 13th position is the 28 of Dustin German. He started shotgun on the field after those electrical issues, KR. He would be sitting, on the lead lap if he were in the 14th position. So he's made a nice rally so far since the drop of the green flag.
As we ride on board with the 28 of Dustin German, he has, worked his way through this field and continues to work his way forward, but he is in desperate need of a caution to get him back on the lead lap, but not only back on the lead lap, but to allow him to catch up to the back of this field, and then he's going to have to pass all these guys a second time.
That he will, and we're about, I would guess, right around 10 to 12 laps away from seeing our first round of green flag pit stops. And when you're doing 190 miles an hour, it is very hard to get down to pit road speed at 60 miles an hour, hit your mark on pit road, not miss your box, get in your box with those hot, greasy tires. Plus, you're going to pick up those marbles. It's very tricky. We'll see if there's any mistakes that are going to happen if and when we get to the green flag pit stops.
Yeah, that is something that these drivers were practicing in this warm-up session. Pit road entry here at Michigan can be tricky. You've got to really be aggressive on it, but you cannot be too aggressive, because the moment you're too aggressive, you end up either overshooting it, smacking into that cone and then the tire wall, or spinning out because you lock the brakes up.
Got a good battle back here for your 8th position. Justin Rigsby in that Star Legacy number 99 trying to work underneath the 85 of Jeff Stiles, and he's got Brandon Mefford and Chris Mefford hot in tow as they're battling with Spalding. 5 cars spreading out 3 wide down the front stretch, now settling it back into 2. It'll be Stiles at the line leading this battle, but it's a hot one for your 8th position.
Side by side, the 99 and the 83 coming up off the corner. Spalding in the 48, watching this go down with the 46 of Chris Mefford right behind him. These cars all running very tightly packed here. They send it off into turn 3. Jeff Stiles in the 85 machine holding on to 8th place for the moment. Mefford in that 83 taking a peek to the inside off of turn 4.
Our first front runner coming down pit road. We got a slash of now the 94 Ray of Troy Radford coming down pit road along with Steve Baker, Tyler Hilton, Chris Mefford. So we got about 6 guys down on pit road making their first scheduled green flag pit stops.
The 94 Troy Radford heads for his box. He was pitting from 2nd place. Tyler Hilton pitting from the top 5. These drivers making their way onto pit road here. We're going to have 62 laps left in this race, so we're looking at least 2 more stops.
Yeah, you can't make it here from one more stop, as John Wimbish will come screaming by those drivers as they come up to speed. It'll be interesting to see how much of a speed difference there is between fresh tires and old tires, and these drivers will make a note along with their crew chiefs on top of that box in case of a late race yellow flag. But right now, John Wimbish still showing the way, 3.4 seconds over 2nd place Myers.
And Al, I believe I misspoke. I know it's hard to believe, but I said at least 2 more stops. I think these drivers are only going to need 1 more stop, a 2-stop strategy here tonight being deployed for our 90-lap race distance.
And your race leader, Derek Myers, now takes the lead over from John Wimbish, who comes down pit road. So that'll leave just 3 drivers out, or 4. Your top 5 have not come down pit road yet as the race leader on pit road. Derek Myers working down in the turns numbers 3 and 4. We expect him to be on pit road within the next 2-3 laps, if not this lap here. It looks like he's coming down pit road.
Myers in the 54 machine, riding high, wide, and handsome. Stays out for this lap and continues to cycle around. About 40 laps is all these drivers will have on fuel. Several drivers have come down pit road early. And the 54 machine of Myers now makes his way around the one of Stephen Page. The 82 of Tyler Hilton right now is the first car 1 lap down. Hilton going to flash by the 54 of Myers here as he's got those 4 fresh tires, but Derek stretching the fuel, stretching that run out, and really going to force the hand of some of these other drivers here in a little bit.
Yeah, right now it's about a 2-second difference between fresh tires and old tires. Last time by, Myers ran a 40.949. As went by him, ran a 39.3, so just a little over a second as he lets these guys go. But here comes Page as well. Those guys are all battling for that lucky dog. Well, now they're going to be on the tail end of the lead lap.
They are on the tail end of the lead lap as the 54 machine looks like he's going to hang it out once again. Derek Myers not slowing down just yet for pit road. Do want to check in on the 28 of Dustin German as he has not made a pit stop either. So he continues to cycle around, and Dustin German has made it up into 19th place for the moment, but that is because he, along with Derek Myers and Eric Blount, have not hit pit road.
Yeah, Myers just had a huge moment off of turn number 2 with Steve Baker and then the 48 of Spalding side by side off the corner. Myers is trying to stay out of the way on those lower tires, trying to catch a quick yellow if we're going to get one. Right now, he enjoys a 10-second lead over Eric Blount, and Ray Radford sits in 3rd. Your only 3 drivers who have not come down pit road that are up at the front of this one. The other driver, Dustin German, has not come down pit road yet, as he's up to your 16th position as pit cycles still cycle through. But he'll have to come down within the next 4 to 5 laps.
The 00 of Roy Hyde going to make his way around our race leader. He's going to unlap himself, now put that 00 into 12th place on the lead lap. Here comes the 34 of Doug Wysocki as we ride on board with this 34 machine. He makes his way across the start-finish line here at this very wide 2-mile speedway known as Michigan International, down into 1 and 2. Doug Wysocki holding on to it. Good race for this 34 machine so far here tonight.
Yeah, Doug started in the 9th position, currently sitting 13th after the first round of pit stops as he's looking to chase down the number 00 of Roy Hyde that's right there in front of him. And he's got the 83 Brandon Mefford right there behind him, as it looks like Myers will go 1 more lap. This will be 39 laps on this tank of fuel. Remember, we had those 2 extra laps at the beginning of the race, KR, where they did the tribute with Doug and everything like in the front of this one. So could they go a little bit further if they saved fuel at the beginning? Plus they had those extra caution laps trying to see what was going on with Dustin German. So all that to play in to see how far they can stretch.
Yeah, Derek gonna stretch this one as far as he can, and in fact, not a bad idea at this point to really try and run that fuel tank dry, because he is going to end up being on some of the freshest tires out there and might be able to swallow up some of these guys as he makes his way around the speedway, having pitted as one of the last few to make that final pit stop. Or I shouldn't say final pit stop, but be one of the last ones on the pit road. And I know what you're thinking. Being the first one on pit road gives you the freshest tires. But there's a crossover point where if you can survive out on the track for long enough, that you actually end up being the one on the freshest tires.
That is true. And right now they have 51 laps to go. It'll be 50 at the stripe. So he can't make it from here. He's stretching it so it'll be close. Maybe timing it so he'll have a really quick, just to maybe dump a few gallons of fuel in there, gas and go. If it stays green as they work off turn number 2, it'll still be Myers, and he is actually stretching out his lead over Eric Blount there in your number 2 position, 6, as he's got the 85 of Styles, which will be the next car to catch the 54 of Myers, and that'll put us back to 14 cars on the lead lap.
Riding on board with the 82 of Tyler Hilton, he goes and works his way down the front stretch and sends it off into turn number 1. The 11 of Christopher Spencer on his back bumper, but Hilton not going to be too worried about that 11 machine just yet. Spencer has to close the gap a little bit more, but Spencer is there. Tyler Hilton, well, now he works his way through 3 and 4 because I can count now.
Did you have your socks off this time?
Well, that was the pause. I had to take my socks off.
How about that 82 car? Is now Spencer's going to take a peek underneath them. That 82 car, very sharp. I love the retro look, the throwback to the Richard Petty scheme, and that car is very sharp. And Spencer will work to the inside of him and get by him here in turns 1 and 2. Hilton just kind of said, "You're faster than me right now. You go ahead and take that spot."
So Myers at the front of the field, has not come down pit road yet, continues to circle around this racetrack. Eric Blount in the 6 machine sitting in second. He is 13.5 seconds behind our race leader. The 56 of John Wimbish has found himself in 3rd place now, so he's recovered and made it back up into 3rd, but he is 9 seconds behind the 6 of Eric Blount.
And our race leader is coming down pit road. The 54 of Derek Myers is going to come down pit road to finally service this car. The Smoke Show Racing car number 54. He'll hit his marks on pit road. Is Eric Blount is all staying out, KR. So new race leader, the 6 of Eric Blount, showing the way. John Wimbish is sitting in your number 3 spot as they come through the tri-oval. So Wimbish should take over your race lead as this cycles through.
One car who has just gone behind the wall, that is the 46 of Chris Medford. That looks like an early exit for the 46 machine. Dale Osmond, after his internet connection issues, has rejoined the race, but he finds himself 6 laps down in 25th place. So that is a huge deficit for the 88 to overcome, but he is out on track, hoping to gather up a few more points in the final race of the season. Right now, as things look, we have 18 drivers on the lead lap. The last car on the lead lap is the 72 of Andy Lambert. Right now, he finds himself in 18th place. The 81 machine, that is David Worrell making his way around. Worrell in 24th spot, 1 lap down.
He is, and right now with 18 cars on the lead lap, Dustin German has come down pit road to service his number 28. Remember, he came in as your championship leader here tonight. Just needed a 14th place finish or better. And right now, being trapped 1 lap down, the best he can get to is 19th. So he needs a little bit of help from his championship rival, who happens to be leading the race.
Yeah, he is in danger, but the more cars that go a lap down, the more that 28 can work his way around. Keep in mind, all he has to do is finish in a 14th place or better, and he locks up the championship. We are looking at 47 laps to go. Anything can happen here. That 28 machine really has to get up on the wheel and cannot give up. He has got to keep digging, even though he is one lap down.
Yeah, and John Wimbish showing the way off the corner over Troy Radford, 2.5-second lead. Where did Derek Myers come out onto the racetrack, are you asking yourself? Well, he came out in the 13th position after cycling out. I was very impressed at how long that they could go on that tank of fuel. This time by, will they be able to split this run in half by staying out that far late? Because that was part of maybe their plan as they work around the Michigan Raceway. As this field has stretched itself out a little bit. Close battle right now is for the 19th position between Michael Fravert and Mark Fravert back there in the 19th, 36th, and the 44th car.
Yeah, the 44 tucked in right now behind the 36. Mark trying to figure out how to get around Mike. These two drivers going at it, brothers. Nose to tail, working their way into 3 and 4. The 11 of Christopher Spencer. That is a lead lap car. That is your third place driver right now. These two battle in front of the 11 machine. Spencer going to take a peek to the inside and send it into the corner. 44 stays high, so too does the 36.
Steve Page has gotten by the 82 of Tyler Hilton. That was for your 5th position, and he used the inside of the raceway. So we saw that inside line work a little bit there. It's that number 1 of Stephen Page is up to your 5th position, and he's trying to chase down the 48 of Spalding. And how about a nice recovery for that Jimmy Johnson Foundation number 48 of Joshua Spalding, he went for an off-road excursion at the beginning of the race down the backstretch. He has rebounded nicely and finds himself in the 4th position.
Derek Myers in the 54 machine has made his way forward. He's on those very fresh tires. Now he finds himself tucked in tight behind the 00 Roy Hyde. He's going to pick off the 00 easily and take a peek to the inside of the 34 Doug Wysocki down the back stretch. Myers going to pass 4 cars here, as those 4 cars were all for position. A heck of a battle here in 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th place. As Roy Hyde falls back even further, Justin Rigsby in the 99, now watching the 85 and the 34 battle it out side by side just in front of him.
Trying to figure out which line is going to go. Styles will get by Wysocki. Now the 99 of Rigsby. He'll tuck it to the inside off of turn number 2 on the inside of Wysocki, because that is the battle for your 11th and 12th position. Wysocki right to the back bumper now, but here comes Rigsby to the inside into turn number 3. Roy Hyde watching this battle right there off the car length, seeing these guys run side by side. It'll be Rigsby off turn number 4, but that momentum with Wysocki right on the high side as they work here just past halfway.
41 laps to go. John Wimbish out in front of this field. He has a 3.4 second lead over Troy Radford. A solid run going by the 56. Can he win this championship and capitalize on the misfortunes of the 28?
You really got to feel bad for Dustin German. He's had the dream season, coming in as your points leader, has to only finish 14th or better, has some electrical gremlins at the beginning of this race, and he finds himself sitting there in the 23rd position, 1 lap down. He is catching the 9 of Dustin Ping. That would be for position. We still got 2.5 seconds to catch on Dustin Ping as they work around the speedway. So a very uphill battle with the laps. That sand in that hourglass is quickly starting to run out.
Yeah, Dustin German can see his championship slipping away. This race is 39 laps from being over. This season is 39 laps from being over. And John Wimbish, one of those drivers who has had a great season as well, he's got to be licking his chops here, thinking, man, I hope this stays green the entire way.
One driver that continues to move forward is now battling for your 4th position. That's the number 1 of Stephen Page. He has caught the back bumper of Spalding, and I've been watching Page. He's been one of the fastest cars on the racetrack over the last 5 laps, and he looks to be taking a challenge to that for his 4th position.
Page in that one machine all over the tire tracks of the 48 of Spalding. Spalding is closed in on the 11 of Spencer, so we're going to have a 3-car battle here for 3rd place in just a moment. Spencer holding on to that 3rd position. Page and Spalding looking like they're going to try and take it away from him. They work their way through 3 and 4. And yeah, Al, there are battles all over this Michigan International Raceway, and we have been green flag racing since the start.
Yeah, the driver's doing a great job. As now Spalding will get to the inside of Spencer off of turn number 2. He'll have him cleared down the backstretch as they work off the corner. See him break the draft a little bit. Spalding now goes into your 3rd position, and here comes Page with him as well. Side by side down in the turns 3 and 4. Stephen Page will go to 4th. And just like that, Spencer goes back to 5th.
Spalding, though, not sure that he's done with this battle as he dives down to the inside of the 1 of Page, and side by side heading off into turn number 1. The 11 machine wants that position back. Page going to get a good run on the high side here, and Spencer gonna slide in behind the 1 of Page.
Closing in on this battle is the 54 of Myers as he's working underneath the 82 of Hilton right now. He'll make that pass down in the turn number 3. It'll be Myers up to 6 and is looking to close in on the 11 of Spencer as they come across the stripe. Lap 58 on the board. This one is quickly starting to come to an end, and those championship hopes are going out the window for Dustin Germain. Unless he can get a yellow flag, KR, that is his only friend right now. Get that yellow flag, stay out, get the wave around, and hopefully hold on to get to that 14th position.
Yeah, Dustin German in a world of hurt as we're looking at 35 laps to go. He does need that yellow, and he needs it in a hurry because he is going to have to figure out what to do. Getting it done here on green flag conditions, not really looking his way. He is putting in some great laps and putting in the effort that really is of a championship caliber effort, but just not able to make anything happen, make any headway, as it has just been an uphill battle since the start of this race for the 28 machine.
He is the fastest car on the raceway, so he is catching the backside. The 47 of Radford is the next car on German's catch. Andy Lambert had just gone down a lap to our race leader, who's working off turn number 2, and it has been the John Wimbish story here tonight. He has been a dominating car since the green flag has dropped. It would be remiss the set, if we didn't talk about him. He's run a perfect race so far, and we're getting close to green flag pit stops once again. We're getting close to that 30 lap mark where they can split this run in half to make it out to the end.
Yeah, the 56 now on his 28th lap since hitting pit road, and with 32 laps to go, going to be a stretch on the fuel tank. Our estimate was roughly 40 laps, but Al, we're giving that estimate, but that doesn't mean that these drivers maybe didn't start saving fuel, maybe going to be able to try and stretch it a little bit further. So I'm not sure what's going to happen next.
No, it's based on what we saw in the first stint there. I believe the most they can do is 46 laps, which still will not let them get to the finish based on when they all pitted. They'd be about 5 laps shy. Now, do they save that 5 laps under green flag? It's very hard here at the Michigan Raceway. You are on the throttle a long time all the way around the speedway, and it's very hard to save those laps, but I'm not going to put it past any of these drivers.
No, the 56 right now looks like he is going to come down pit road. I was going to say, wouldn't it be a bad idea to hit pit road this time, be one of the first ones on pit lane, and he has done just that. The 94 Troy Radford going to follow him. But yeah, now you get your 4 tires, you top off your tank, and then you dash to the checkered flag.
Yeah, everybody doing what he did except for Tyler Hilton, who will take over the race lead in that number 82. Brandon Medford staying out as well. So John Wimbish in his box hits it. Right side's going up on the side of that 56 car. Now the crew works around to the left side of the car, and they'll drop the jack, pack it full of fuel, and he is away in 14.8 seconds.
Solid pit stop for your race leader when he came down pit road, but the 82 of Tyler Hilton did stay out. He is going to try and run this thing a little bit further, but he is going to give up a lot of time to the race leader. Eric Myers in the 54 and was one of those guys who came down, and the caution flag is going to come out. And I am not sure who the caution flag is for. Very possibly the 94 of Troy Radford. So let's back this up. Let's go to our turn 3 instant replay here and see what happened to the 94 of Troy Radford. Because by the time we catch up to him, he has already found problems. Let's back this up a little bit further and see where he went wrong. He's making his way off of pit road. Looks like he just accelerated a little too much. Went for a spin. And then as he tried to rejoin the race, that was when the 11 machine flashed on by, and I believe that would have triggered our caution here.
I believe so. So now your race leader was Tyler Hilton. He'll be able to come down pit road and get back under the green. Not have to make those green flag pit stops, which we've saw. Stephen Page get into the grass on entry, was able to get the car woed up. But these guys that just came down pit road may have been saved by the yellow. And right now, Dustin German is in the 18th position, being showed 1 lap down, so he'll have to stay out. He pitted 20 laps ago, so he can stay out a little bit longer here if the leaders pit and put himself back on the lead lap.
He could go for the waiver round here, but I don't know if he's going to have enough fuel to make it to the end of this thing. But Tyler Hilton going to hit pit road and bring several drivers down pit lane with him. So Hilton in that Richard Petty throwback paint scheme machine. First car on the pit lane. Several drivers have followed him. As we wait to see, John Wimbish has stayed out in the 56, so it looks like Wimbish going to take over the top spot as these drivers come to the service of their pit crews.
Remember, Wimbish was on pit road when the yellow flag came out. We believe the yellow flag was the 94 of Troy Radford, which he was way down on the apron, KR, so not really sure if maybe debris out onto the racetrack, as well as that car just hung a hard left off of pit road. So possibly some debris out on the racetrack, bringing out the first yellow flag of the night. So almost 2 green flag pit stops, and our first yellow has come out here tonight. And what a break for some of these drivers, and some not so lucky.
Yeah, not so lucky as the 94 of Troy Radford. He was making his way off a pit lane trying to get through the gearbox, and it looks like the car just broke loose on him. And now the 94 has, well, he's got some work to do to get back up into second place.
Hey, that's going to throw away a lot of track position, as he was running second when they came down pit road. And a very quick pit stop, 14.8 seconds with Troy Radford's pit crew, but now he's going to have the long road to hoe as they pace around behind the iRacing Mustang pace car. When we get to 2 to go, they should get the wave around, which will put them all back on the lead lap. Everybody that's in front of Spalding, so it looks like all the way back through the number 81 of Dave Whirl will get back on the lead lap here underneath this yellow flag if they take the wave around.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. No one go anywhere. We'll be back to bring you the rest of tonight's action. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the field is tucked in nice and tight behind the Ford Mustang. The lights have gone out here tonight on our pace car. The 56 of John Wimbish on the inside of road number 1. On his outside, the 48 of Josh Spalding. Dustin German in the 28 machine did take the wave around. He finds himself restarting in 18th spot, back on the lead lap. He is about 20 laps away from having to hit pit road, so this is really going to change things up a little bit. But here we go, Al, as the green flag gets ready to ride once again. Wimbish picks up the throttle and gets a clean break away from the 48 of Spalding.
He'll mash the gas and pick up right where he left off. Spalding now in your number 2 spot with Steve Baker in your number 3 spot as they work down the turn numbers 1 and 2. Spalding now up to your number 2 spot, highest he's been all night long, and now they're looking to try to chase down that cherry white number 56.
Couple drivers going side by side, heading off into turns 3 and 4. One of those being the 54 of Derek Myers as he tries to work his way underneath the 83 of Brandon Medford. Myers been trying to track back to the race lead since that first green flag pit stop. Right now he finds himself in 7th place and looking like he's going to try and keep moving forward. Tyler Hilton in the 82 machine, who pitted from the lead under this caution, most recent caution, finds himself in 5th place right now, and just ahead of this side-by-side battle of Myers and Mefford.
Yeah, Myers turned the green flag, pit stop to take a right side tires, came back down and that yellow to take left sides, back that 54 full of fuel to make it here to the end. And they weren't running side by side, so everybody that just pitted underneath that yellow flag can make it to the end by my calculations, assuming no overtimes will be needed. But Rigsby now will cut that Star Legacy number 99 to the inside of Mefford, down the backstretch, still run side by side with Styles, trying to pick out the line which one is going to go forward.
Well, that battle goes on. The misfortunes continue for the 28 of Dustin German. Everyone around him is on fresher tires than he is. He had to take the wave around because he had not yet hit pit road. He was 1 lap down since the start of this race. So he was not one of the drivers who had made a pit stop, had the virtue of getting 4 fresh tires. So Dustin German has actually lost a spot since the start of this race and since this restart, and continues to lose ground on 14th place driver, the 6 machine of Eric Blount.
Yeah, what that driver in the 28 is hoping for is a quick yellow, but up front, it is Spalding keeping Wimbish very honest right now. This is the most pressure we've seen Wimbish have all night long, as Spalding is now all over the back bumpers and hit turn number 1. This in the tire tracks of your race leader, the 56 of Wimbish, is now Spalding draws within a half a car length off turn number 2.
Spalding looking for his first win this season in the 48 machine. Picked up a win in RFC last season, and the 48 has been hunting a victory lane ever since. And now he is all over the back bumper of the 56, but Wimbish, no stranger to being able to make his tires last, as we are inside 20 to go.
20 laps to go now with the 56 of Wimbish showing the way over Spalding. Steve Baker runs in your number 3 spot. Tyler Hilton and Stephen Page runs in 5th. Derek Myers in that 54 up to 6th. They all run single file down the back straightaway as they work their closest battle on the racetrack is the 11 of Spencer, who's taking a peek underneath the 85 of Styles.
Well, Al, I keep trying to check in on Dustin German, and the situation just keeps getting worse for the 28 machine. He finds himself all the way down in a 20th spot, and just he's a handful of laps away from making another green flag pit stop.
Yeah, those caution laps could possibly have helped him stretch it out a little bit further, but he's in need of a yellow, and the yellow flag needs to come in a hurry for that driver in the 28 of Dustin German if he wants to keep his championship hopes alive, as they run around here clicking off lap 75 of 92 and is very quickly closing in on the close of this one.
Check back in on the drivers battling here in the mid pack. Brandon Mefford, Justin Rigsby, Jeff Styles, and the 11 of Christopher Spencer. They have gotten a single file. Derek Myers in the 54 machine sitting in 6th place, just ahead of Brandon Mefford, as Wimbish continues to lead. Spalding sitting in 2nd, Baker 3rd. That'll round out your top 3 for the moment. We have 16 laps to go here, Al, and these drivers all trying to get after it, trying to win this race. Wimbish trying to win a championship.
Yeah, Wimbish doing everything that he needed to do here tonight. He came in qualified in the 3rd position, then inherited the pole for the start of the feature event after the 28 of German's night went south with the electrical issues, and Wimbish has been one of the cars to beat all night long. with now Spalding giving him the biggest bit that he's had for the night. Myers now is trying to work underneath the one of Stephen Page. Myers has been quick all night as well, but remember, he stayed out for many laps after and had fallen back to the 13th pit stop, or 13th position after the first cycle of green flag pit stops. He is really nice, and he finds himself in the 6th position going for 5th.
Yeah, Derek Myers moving his way forward. You mentioned he has had a ton of speed all night long, and now he battles with the one of Stephen Page, taking a peek down to the inside, dropping all the way down to the grass. Side by side across the start finish line goes the 54 and the 1, and Derek Myers going to send it off into turns 1 and 2 and now take over that 5th place.
Hill sets sights on the number 82 of Tyler Hilton, as he's gotten by Page now. Page not quite ready to give that position up, but he is now 2 car lengths behind the 54 of Myers. They heard turn number 3. This time by it'll be 15 laps to go, I believe, as they work off the corner, and it'll be the number 56 of Wimbish. He's starting to stretch out that lead now up to 0.4 of a second over Joshua Spalding.
13 laps left in the race, 13 laps left in the 2020 spring season for Racing for a Cause. We started in the trucks, moved to the Cup cars, and we are going to finish in the Xfinity cars. And John Wimbish in the 56 machine, who has led 61 laps and counting here tonight, is looking to try and win the championship. Not only win the championship, but pick up his first win of the season. And man, what a story that would be.
He would, and it would be a great story. John Wimbish has been flirting with victory lane all season long, just hasn't been able to close the deal. Now just 12 more circuits around the Michigan Speedway. And Spalding now still hanging there, 0.4 behind him, but John Wimbish is in control of this race.
Yeah, the 56 really has had the pulse of this race. He has been the one that everyone has had to deal with, and so far nobody has had anything for the 56. Spalding right now sitting the closest that anyone has been this deep into a run. Troy Radford, when he was sitting in 2nd place, was 2.5 seconds behind this 56 machine. Now the 48 is just a half second behind, and it looks like, I don't want to say he is, but maybe the 56 and Wimbish just staying out just far enough.
Yeah, just keeping that 48 back just far enough where he wants to, as we got a change for position for your 3rd spot. Hilton has gotten around Steve Baker with that Victory Junction gang number 55 car. He'll fall back to your 4th spot. Derek Myers is in 5th, 2.7 seconds behind this battle. But up front is still John Wimbish now with just 11 laps to go. It'll be this time by the flagman. Will show him 10 to go to come off turn number 4.
I do want to check in on our broadcasting buddy, the 81 of Dave Worrell. Dave started in 26th. Right now he finds himself in 23rd place. He has passed the 28 of Dustin German. German, last car on the lead lap, and he is struggling. He is in desperate need of some help, and he is running out of time to get it. But Dave Worrell right now finding himself in 23rd, and Darkside Dave out on the track.
Yeah, German has been reporting debris, water bottles, anything you can think of out on the racetrack, trying to bring out, to get a yellow to come out, but unfortunately nothing has worked yet, as he's closely in on having to come down for a splash of fuel at the very least, and that splash of fuel will be what will hold him from hoisting championship trophy, unless a yellow comes out within the next 2 to 3 laps.
Yeah, he's going to need that caution here very soon. The 28, though, on the lead lap right now. He is about half a lap behind the race leaders, and should he get that caution and be able to get 4 fresh tires, he would have some time to make some moves. This race isn't over yet for this driver, but man, things are looking bleak for Dustin German. Not so much so for the 56 of John Wimbish, as he is over just a half-second lead on the 48 of Josh Spalding.
I'd like to highlight one driver that's having a good run here tonight. That would be the 151 of Rick Greenway. He's doing a good job running there in the 11th position, battling with Doug Wasaki for that 10th position. But the Greenway running there in that Leah car, the Autism Speaks number 151, who works to the corner. He's doing a good job here tonight, running in the 11th position.
Tucked in behind the 34 of Wysocki, this battle is for 10th place. Doug Wysocki holding on to it for the moment. Rick Greenaway trying to figure out how to take it away from him. The 47 of Ray Radford down on that apron. He has just made a pit stop and gets back into the race. But Greenaway having a solid showing, as you mentioned, looking at a top 10 finish here.
Yeah, Dustin German on pit road as well. He's going to fall 1 lap to the leaders as they come by, this time off of turn number 4 and street pass on the front stretch. So German on pit road, getting some fuel to make it to the rest of the way with just 5 more circuits remaining in the Samantha Mills Liver Awareness 90. As is Mefford right to the back bumper of Myers as they work off turn number 2.
Side by side off of turn 2 they go. Now the 11 of Spencer gonna shoot down to the track white line. He's gonna work his way by the 54 of Myers. Myers though gonna try the crossover. He gets down to the inside of the 11 machine, and Derek Myers back into the spot for the moment. Spencer gonna try and carry that high side momentum all the way through 1 and 2.
8 more miles to go for John Wimbish with 4 laps to go as he works down the backstretch. Make it 7 miles, if you will, as he works into turn number 3. 1.2 seconds over Joshua Spalding, who rides here in your 2nd position.
Baker in the 55 machine has not let the 82 of Tyler Hilton get too far away from him. Tyler Hilton holding on to 3rd place, trying to finish on the final step of the podium. But Baker in that 55 machine looking like he would like to take it away from him, as we're going to have 3 laps to go here at Michigan for the Samantha Mills Liver Awareness 90.
Been a good race, only slowed 1 time so far tonight, as this time by the flagman. We'll show the 2 to go signal for the 56. John Wimbish is battling, is kind of stalled out around here. Myers has not given up on the backside of Mefford. That battle still rages on, but Mefford now solidly inside the top 5. They work off the corner. It'll be 2 laps to go this time by.
Yeah, 2 more times around this 2-mile speedway. Wimbish out in the front by 1.3 seconds. Derek Myers battling with Brandon Mefford. Tyler Hilton has been passed by the 55 of Steve Baker, so Baker moves into 3rd. This race and season is looking to see the white flag for the final time. The 56 of John Wimbish making his way off of turn number 4, and the white flag is gonna go in the air. 1 to go in honor of Samantha Mills.
Wimbish will take that car down in the turn number 1 and 2 for the final trip. Off of turn number 2, the 56 keeps the car underneath him. He knows that the win is his for the first time in 2020 here in the Racing for a Cause series, as they work down to the turn number 3, and this is the final time.
Off of turn number 4, the 56 is going to be looking at a championship unofficially, as everyone has got to count the points up. But Wimbish gonna win the race in the championship here at Michigan in a very dominant race as he led 74 laps here tonight.
Spalding will finish in the number 2 spot. Baker will finish 3rd. It'll be Tyler Hilton and Brandon Medford rounding out your top 5. But what a dominating performance by the 56 of John Wimbish. We will wait for the official word from scoring and the series director on who won the championship, because I believe it's going to be very close there, KR.
I think it will be close as well. You don't want to count anything out, you know, count your chickens before they hatch, but I can tell you the 56 of Wimbish is your race winner and did an outstanding job out here tonight. Led the most laps, and well, as the drivers come flashing by. But man, guys, we're gonna step away from the microphones. We're gonna set up our post-race show. No one go anywhere. We'll be back to talk to our top 3 drivers.
Welcome back to the Michigan International Raceway, where we have just concluded the Samantha Mills Liver Awareness 90. I'm down here on pit road, caught up with our 3rd place tonight's race, Steve Baker. And Steve, that was one heck of a battle out there. A lot of green flag laps and whatnot. Talk about how was the race for you?
Yeah, the race was great. Good to get a lot of green flag racing in. We had pretty awful qualifying effort, but we're able to just pick him off on the long runs here and there. Didn't have anything for John. He was in a league of his own tonight, and Josh up there too. So I was just trying to hold my own. Had a great battle with Tyler, and it was a fun race.
Talk about getting on the pit road. We've seen some guys get out in the grass, charge it. Not a lot of penalties, though. How tricky is it to go from 190 miles an hour down to pit road speed and not get that penalty or slide through your box?
Yeah, we were fine on the entry. I mean, there's a lot of room, I feel like, at Michigan to get down and stay away from other people and get it slowed down on entry. But I slid through my box on that first one, and that kind of hurt me a little bit. But not too bad on pit road tonight, other than that. But yeah, it was tough once all the cars got strung out. Not a ton of aero help out there, and I was eating up my right front, so that didn't help either.
Well, definitely a good run for your Victory Junction gain number 55 Chevy Camaro here tonight. Talking about the season, you had a good season. You had 2 wins on the season. Coming home here tonight will be your 9th top 10, 7th top 5 of the season. But you guys had to a little bit of diversity running the trucks and the cup cars and then ending it here on the Xfinity. How much of a challenge was that from week to week running those different cars?
Yeah, I struggled the first few weeks in the truck. Not sure what it was, but I was happy to see us switch over to the A car and the B car. Kind of turned it around a little bit the rest of the season. I definitely prefer those. It was fun to finish it off with the B car. Glad to come out of here with 2 wins, but just not consistent enough to hang up there in points with John and Dustin.
Well, definitely a good night for you here tonight. Anyway, you got to say thanks to the sponsored you, shout outs, anything. We'll give you the mic for the final time for this season.
Yeah, shout out to my team out there, Josh, Derek, Dustin. Shout out to Troy for making this whole thing happen and everybody who shows up. I've had Victory Junction Gang on the car for the past few weeks. And just want to shout out to Doug Wysocki for tonight. It was awesome to see him out up front and, have the race sponsored for Sam. So that's it.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's 3rd place finisher, Steve Baker. KR, I believe you've caught up with our 2nd place finisher here tonight, Joshua Spalding.
I have caught up with the driver of the 48 machine. And Josh, you had a great run going there in the closing stages. That restart found you in the outside of row number 1. And now you bring it home in 2nd place. Tell us a little bit about your race out there tonight.
Well, it was a fun race. We had a lot of green flag laps, and I put myself in a bind there on the first lap. I got a little loose there in coming out of 2 and fell back to the 22nd place position or something like that. So I was behind the 8 ball to start, but kept the car clean and was able to get on and off pit road successfully a couple of times, and was able to make up a few passes and be there at the end to try to give John a battle. But his speed was just too much to match tonight, and congrats to him on the win. Not sure about the championship yet, but it was definitely a fun race.
Well, the 48 kind of started a little deep in the field, and it looked like that opening lap, you might have found yourself a little bit sideways coming off of turn 2. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I was checking up for the car in front of me. I can't remember who it was, but it was just enough checkup to put my teammate Steve on my bumper, and it was just a little tap that sent me around. But I was really worried about his car because he was in the championship, but I was hoping it wasn't giving him front end damage. But just
nice job out there tonight. Solid performance all night long, bringing it home in 2nd place. Josh, man, congratulations on that. And anyone else you need to mention?
I just always enjoy running with my teammates in this league here. Appreciate Troy putting it on, and UKR and you guys doing a great broadcast. And it was fun running that first lap or 2 there with Doug out front. I was real sorry to hear about his daughter, so that was a nice tribute. So it was a lot of fun tonight, and enjoyed the season. Happy to be back racing. We'll see you guys next year.
All right, man. Well, Josh finishing in 2nd place here. Gonna do a now we're gonna talk to John Wimbish, our race winner. John, how you doing out there tonight?
We're doing good. Finally got a win, so I'm excited about that and happy I finally didn't choke. Finally got one in the win column there, so I'm real happy with that.
Well, John, you came out here tonight. You led 74 laps here in Michigan, did everything you could to win the championship. And with this race win, I'm being told that they're still factoring in the points. So I have not heard what is who, what, where, why, or how yet. So any word that you're aware of?
Nah, just kind of like election night and we're waiting on Florida, right? So it just how it goes, man. I know it was going to be really tight. I hate that Dustin had that problem there, but I just had to keep going. I knew, coming in was going to be tough. I had to lead as many laps as possible, try to lead the most laps and get the win, just kind of stack up on points as much as I could and maximize points, and just never could, catch a break from Dustin. He was always there. If I had a good run, he had a good run, or he was first and I was second or something. So it was just always something going on, but just real tight here at the end. So we'll just kind of hang out and see. I'll be happy with it either way. I like Dustin. He's a good dude and always enjoy racing with him. We did a little practice last night and kind of found out, the car doesn't handle that great, when you're behind somebody. So being out front was at a premium. And so I knew when Josh got behind me, Josh is always super fast. And I knew he was going to put as much pressure on me as he could to try to help his teammate out there. So I just kept trying to be in his line and put that arrow on his nose and not let him be able to get a fender up under me. And it worked out. And then I knew if I could do that, I'd probably just, get some space between us, and kind of worked out the way I hoped it would. But, again, I mean, I'm sitting here fighting for a championship with a guy, and then we're practicing together. So that, says a lot about Dustin and the competitor that he is, but he's a good friend too. Been there through a lot of stuff. So we just hang out, man, and see how things go. But I'm really just happy I got a win finally. And I don't make it look like I know what I'm doing for once.
Well, John, I don't think anyone ever questioned whether you knew what you were doing or not. That 56 machine has been out front almost all season long, and I have heard from race control, Florida votes are counted, and this is actually going to end in a tiebreaker being the most wins, and that is going to be Dustin German. But man, you can hang your hat high on knowing that you tied in this championship battle.
Yeah, I figured it was going to be close, man. That's pretty fun right there. So that's cool. I'm happy for Dustin. Well, I don't want to come out here and burn him down or do anything ridiculous. Won't take anything away from him. I know he had a frustrating night, so just wanted to maximize points, and we get what we get, and happy with it. And I'm happy for Dustin. He had a hell of a season. He deserves it anyway. So stats don't lie. He had a better season than me. So I just had some bad luck here at the end, but had a lot of fun here racing with these guys. And, got to thank Troy, Andy, everybody here at Racing for a Cause for what they do. Obviously, thoughts and prayers for Doug and his family. Nice tribute there at the start of the race, and just thinking about him and his family, praying for them. And appreciate you guys being on board with this season and putting the races out there and talking about a bunch of people who think that we're race car drivers. So it's been a lot of fun.
All right, John. Well, man, congratulations on the race win here tonight. And what an outstanding season to be in second place, only to lose to a tiebreaker, man. I know that's a tough one, but to me, that's still an accomplishment.
I'm fine with it, man. I knew it was going to be tough coming in, and really, if Dustin didn't have those problems, we wouldn't even be talking about a tiebreaker. So he deserves it, and I'm happy for him. He had a heck of a season. He's a good dude, and a heck of a competitor. He's put in a lot of work. You can tell he's really come around. So real happy for him to bring it home.
All right, that is John T. Wimbish, your race winner here tonight. But Al, word has come down, and now it's time to talk to our championship winner, and I'm going to let you take this one away.
Yeah, down here on pit road with Dustin German, and Dustin, wasn't quite the night. It was an eventful night for you and your team, but you come out of Michigan after 12 races with a tie for the championship, and the tiebreaker goes your way. You are the 2020 season 1 champion here for Racing for a Cause. Congratulations.
Man, thank you. Breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief there. Man, I don't even know where to begin. This is crazy. Kind of had some bad luck. We ended up getting the pole and had some bad luck there on the start. And man, I'm just pretty much speechless at the moment.
Well, you had one heck of a season coming into championship night. All you had to do was really stay out of trouble, but trouble found you. Unfortunately, had a little bit of electrical issues, able to get that righted, but then you are just behind the 8 ball all race long. Was there, other than not having the issues, was there anything else that you could have done that maybe helped you get up there a little bit further tonight? I mean, you had a rocket ship of a race car. We watched your lap times throughout the whole night, and just wasn't in the cards for you to get that break that you really needed.
Yeah, I just could never get a break the whole race. I think we went like 60 laps or so before we had a caution. And I was right on the bumper of the guy that I was racing for the lucky dog position when the caution popped.
So if that would have happened, if I'd have been a lucky dog, I would have been able to pit. So that kind of put me behind the 8 ball again. So I was going to need another caution. So I had to stay out, take the wave around, and I ended up having to pit there with a couple laps to go and just get a splash of fuel. And I was just trying to minimize, the loss. But man, I never thought it would. I thought it was over. Honestly, I honestly did. I didn't think we would be that close. Come down to tie, man. That's got to be something for the record books and something for probably first for this league. And looks like everybody was writing me off there with pretty close to the end. But I'm just glad that it ended up like it did. And I don't take nothing away from John. He was fast all night. I wish we were able to go up there and race with him. Just awesome, man.
Well, you definitely had a great season. Out of 12 starts this season, you've had 3 wins, 8 top fives, and 10 of those being in the top 10. So, overall, very good, consistent season for you. How difficult was it to be that consistent, jumping from car to car? You guys ran the trucks, the Gander outdoor trucks, you ran the Xfinity cars, and then you've also ran the Cup cars. So all those different disciplines, and you're able to be that consistent and end up here as your 2020 champion.
Yeah, I was kind of not looking forward to the Cup side of it. Since they, took the power out of the Cup cars, you kind of stay bunched up a little bit more, and they don't really. I mean, it's still driver skill, but not as much as it used to be. So, but actually, we got 2 wins in the Cup car, so I was surprised about that, and I was really looking forward to the Xfinity part of the season. That's one of my favorite cars, and a couple races, I think we won one of them, and I think I had something for John tonight. I don't know for sure, but I know I could have at least stayed with him, but just didn't work out. But it worked out in the end. We lost the battle, but we won the war, so that's all that counts.
KR has called us up down here as he's out of breath a little bit, but KR, you've called it from the start of this season, and it's been a great season. Dustin German is your race champion. He won the war here tonight. Just a great season so that we've had at the beginning of 2020.
It is, and real quick, Dustin, I just want to congratulate you, man. Outstanding drive all season long. You had 10 top 10s, 8 top 5s, walked away with 3 wins. Man, what a drive you had out here. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, we couldn't ask for a better season. Even the downfalls we had tonight, and then the other race we had a pretty bad race was Kentucky. I mean, both those races, or both of these, I figured I might could have got a top 5. It just didn't work out. You have luck, and then sometimes you don't have any. So that's just the way it goes. And like I said last week, anything can happen, and it probably will, and it did tonight. And I'm glad to come out on top. I don't take nothing away from John, like I said before, and I'm glad he got his first win of the season, and it was definitely at the right time. We had one of those Edwards and Stewart battles like in 2011 in the Cup Series, and come down to a tie, man. And you can't ask for a better season when it comes down to that.
Oh, absolutely. And so, man, once again, congratulations on the championship win, and we look forward to seeing you in the fall when this RFC guys kick it back off once again on Tuesday night.
Yeah, man, I look forward to this every week racing, man. It's just really fun to get out here with these guys. They race really good, as you could tell. I don't know how many laps we went green, but it was quite a bit, and the caution that did come out, it probably shouldn't have, but we've had a good season. I just want to thank, my sponsor, SRTV, my team, Smoke Show Racing, and the sponsor of this race, man, Samantha Mills Liver Awareness at 90. Our buddy here, Doug, we've been racing with him, since I came in here. He's been a part of the RFC. I just want to say God bless him and his family. I know he had a tough loss there with his daughter, and I'm glad that he could, put her on the stage tonight and say, we're thinking about him, and just to, thank everybody. Thank Turn 3, UKR, Al, everybody in the booth, everybody watching. It was a good season, man. I can't wait to do it again.
All right, we look forward to kicking it off later in the fall. That is Dustin German, your championship winner here in the spring 2020 season. And Al, the season is over, the race is over. How about you sign us off, man?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, and our thoughts and prayers are with the Wasaki family. Is good to see the tribute paid here tonight for the Samantha Mills Liver Awareness 90, and KR, will appreciate you uh, having me up here in the booth. Hope everybody stays safe out there, and thank you for tuning in the Turn 3 Racing Network. If you haven't done already, subscribe to our channel. If you haven't hit the thumb, smash it. Let these RFC drivers know that you like what they just did for you here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. But for KR Stolfus, I'm Al Smith. We'll see you at the next race here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.